welcome Mr. Bohdan Watral, President and CEO of Selfereliance Ukrainian-American Federal Credit Union.
Slava Ukraini! Today we commemorate the anniversary of Euromaidan, a moment in history for Ukraine where Ukrainians awoke and came to Kyiv and demanded change so that their lives would be better, demanded that Ukraine evolve as a democratic, independent country, that the people of Ukraine can enjoy the democracy and freedom we enjoy here in the United States. And it's important today for the government of the United States to support Ukraine in this effort towards democracy and freedom so people there could have the same lives that we enjoy here. The first Ukrainians came to the United States over 100 years ago. Since then, they have been staunch supporters of the democracy and freedom we enjoy here. Many of them served in our armed forces. Many of them have laid their lives so that we can enjoy this democracy and freedom here in the United States. We ask that the United States help Ukraine in this critical time so it also can evolve as a democratic country so that the people's lives could be better there. Thank you very much. Slava Ukraini. God bless America.
We heard the people were gathering on the Maidan, and we joined them in the cold, windswept rain, speaking from an elevated platform of a sound truck to several hundred young protesters, wondering if they would last the night, much less lead a successful revolution. Ukrainians stood up against the tyranny of the criminal Yanukovych regime. Hundreds died in months of demonstrations that led to the removal of Banditovich. Certainly no one a year ago knew that this criminal would be overthrown by the power of the Maidan, that he would run away from the Ukraine that he and his cronies looted and plundered for themselves while ordinary people were denied the right to live in dignity. Each day, new people came to Maidan from different parts of Ukraine. Yet the one thing that was constant was the overwhelming amount of youth, the future of Ukraine. They know how we live in the West, they share our democratic values, and they want to have a normal life and live with dignity. Their determination to withstand the immense pressure was very impressive. We promised those on Maidan that we would pray for them to have the strength to stay the course until their demands were met, that we would support them morally and materially, that we would work to influence our political leaders to support Ukraine's destiny to be part of the West, for Ukrainians to finally break free of Russian domination and build a new Ukraine where everyone has the opportunity to build a normal life, not just a select few. Afterwards, Russia illegally occupied the Crimean Peninsula and then instigated, supplied, and directed a war of aggression in eastern Ukraine. The United Nations has reported massive human rights violations by Russian forces, including torture, incommunicado detention, summary execution, forced labor, and sexual violence. This Russian aggression has already cost over 4,000 lives. Russia's war in Ukraine set off a dangerous collision course with the West. The war represents a major conflict involving the United States and the European Union that together impose sanctions against Russia, unprecedented since the Cold War. Nonetheless, Russian military hardware and personnel continue to pour into areas of Ukraine under the control of the Kremlin. Despite the magnitude of evidence to this day, Russia has refused to acknowledge responsibility for shooting down the Malaysian Airlines flight MH17 over Ukrainian territory, killing 298 innocent victims. In spite of Russian aggression, the people of Ukraine continue to show remarkable bravery in their struggle to protect their country. They need the aid and assistance of the world's democracies to battle against Russia's tyranny. As President Poroshenko said in Washington, you can't fight a war with blankets. Dear Ukrainian brothers and sisters, you are part of the patriotic Hromad of Chikagło. You came here in the cold on the 15th of December, and you came out and demonstrated many, many other times to show your support for those who risked their lives for a European Ukraine. And we appreciate that you are here today. You collected tons of warm clothes and other supplies and donated hundreds of thousands of dollars to support those brave warriors who are fighting to keep Ukraine free from Russian tyrannical control. We thank you for your unwavering support. We also thank our Polish, Lithuanian, Latvian, Estonian, Georgian, Moldovan, Romanian, American friends who are here with us today as a sign of solidarity with Ukraine. The Ukrainian-American community of Chicago calls on the government of the United States to provide Ukraine with the weapons to protect its independence, territorial integrity, and sovereignty. We call upon President Obama to designate Ukraine as a major non-NATO ally immediately and provide military assistance, defensive weapons to Ukraine as permitted by that status. We call on the U.S. Senate to adopt S-2828, the Ukraine Freedom Support Act of 2014, which Senator Kirk was a co-sponsor and unanimously passed by the Senate Foreign Relations Committee. We call on the House of Representatives to adopt H.R. 5190, the Ukraine Security Assistance Act of 2014, which Congressman Quigley was a co-sponsor of. It was introduced by chairs of the Congressional Ukrainian Caucus, and we look for Congressman Roscoe to become in the leadership of the Congressional Caucus that's coming up. The Ukrainian Congress Committee of America reaffirms its solidarity with the people of Ukraine in their brave struggle to defend their freedom and democracy, to be a member of the Ukrainian European Union, and to be free of Russian domination. Thank you for your support. USA must support Ukraine. God bless America. God bless Ukraine. Slava Ukraini!